Hello, everyone. So, just a reminder Module 5 is going to start on Wednesday, which is hard to believe because that will mark our halfway point through the quarter. Um, the first draft of your comparison essay will be due at 11:59 p.m. on Wednesday. So, same as usual, but I just wanted to say it. Um, I want to talk to you a little bit about your analytic papers. Um, One of the prompts asked you to evaluate the success or failure of a movie, book, etc. And many of you interpreted this as whether or not a movie or book had made a lot of money. A journalist would consider this a very important factor at proving something's success. But we're writing from a more academic perspective, and this means we have to kind of like put ourselves in a frame of mind that academics take. Most academics wouldn't consider the revenue a strong piece of evidence that something was successful. Instead, they would be looking at the narrative structure, so kind of like how the story is shaped. They would be looking at character development. They would be looking at the complexity of themes. Another way to think about the prompt would be asking ourselves, was the book, the movie, whatever, was it compelling? Did it emotionally grab us? Did it make us want to keep on watching? And yet another way to think about this would be to ask ourselves, what makes this a good movie? Or what makes this a bad movie? Now, I hear some of you, and some of you might say, but some people are interested in revenue. And I think that there are some academics who would be interested in the amount of money that the film made. But they would be interested in other things as well. So they wouldn't be interested in the story as much as they would be interested in things like the advertising campaign or the market pressures, the outside market pressures that led to a condition for this film to make a lot of money. So, those people would be looking kind of like outside of the movie to see why it made money. So, it's kind of one of those things where you have to think about who is your audience, what are they going to expect, and then how do you give them the analysis that they expect. So, just to kind of recap a little bit, if it's something where they're looking inside the movie, they're going to be looking at the narrative structures, they're going to be looking at character development, they're going to be looking at themes. But if they're looking outside of the movie, if they're looking at things like revenue, then they're going to be thinking about things like advertisement, market pressures, audience demographics, things like that, which would explain why the movie made money. Okay, so I'm going to switch gears a little bit. So, like I said, Wednesday we're going to start Module 5. And in Module 5, we're going to start to make a turn in the course. So in Module 5, you're going to choose whether you're going to revise your expository paper or your analytic paper. By the time you make this decision, you'll have feedback on both of them from me. I recommend that you pick the paper that's going to be the easiest to revise. You know, it's just kind of 10 weeks is not a lot of time, and we're doing a lot of writing, so sometimes I think that going with the simplest path is the best. So you'll be picking one of the expository or the analytic paper to revise, and just know you're only picking one. And the other one, it's good that you wrote the first draft. Part of what we're doing in class is we're getting a lot of practice. But that first draft will just be put in the back burner and it will show up in your portfolio, but you don't have to worry about revising it. But the one that you do revise, you're going to be revising it 2 times. So you'll do a second draft and a third draft. And as you're picking which assignment you want to revise, I'm also going to encourage you to remember that on both sets of papers, I'm asking everyone, almost everyone, to take their topic and narrow it a little bit more. And part of the reason why I'm doing this is because to get into some higher levels of academic thinking, we really have to focus on narrowing down. And there's still time for us to work on that, so, you know, don't worry, but just kind of like keep that in your head as you're picking which one to revise. So it should be easy, and it should be a topic that you can narrow down pretty easily. Again, keyword there, easy. Okay, the other thing that I want to comment on, and you know, this is, we're all learning, but I just don't want anybody to be surprised when you see this in my comments. On most people's papers, I commented that they had not put their papers in MLA or APA format. And a lot of times when we hear MLA or APA, we think citation style. And that's true, but the MLA APA, it also describes the format of the paper. So that includes kind of how you structure your form. That includes how you structure your header. That includes whether or not you have a title page. That includes how you structure your page numbers. And it's really clear as we start to practice writing papers that the papers that we write are consistent with one of the styles. And like I said before, I don't care which style you pick, but it should really be clear. Okay, this is has gone on a little bit longer than I expected. I am looking forward to seeing what you guys have produced in your comparison. I hope that I've figured out how to leave you audio feedback so you can hear my voice going through my comments. But I really want everyone to keep in mind that I have been happy with the work I've seen in the first drafts. But I am trying to push you so that you can make these first drafts even stronger. Okay. Everyone, I am going to wrap things up. I am going to say, see you later. Keep an eye on the calendar. Keep an eye on the modules. They'll keep you on the right path. And when you do your peer reviews, keep in mind what the video tells you to do. Okay, guys. Talk to you later. I'm really shutting this off.